I got all you hoes on camera. I'm just kidding.
Be careful what you say now.
Is my headband good? Everybody, listen, seriously, look at it. Is my headband okay?
I just want
It
to
looks
like start doing
fantastic.
the Peter Griffin. When I see that.
I always just think of physical.
Oh yeah,
I don't
I know
know.
what you're talking
Yeah,
about, Mikey.
same thing.
There's that
What?
Apple movie that's just physical.
No, what is that movie? That's an Olivia Newton-John music video.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got Rose Byrne as Olivia Newton-John.
Another one
Lance
has passed away.
remembers.
Wait,
Yeah.
is this a new thing?
It's on Apple TV Plus.
What's
It's a
it
movie.
called?
I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
sure
I
it's a
did see
movie.
that.
It's called Physical. So I'll just randomly I'll just start singing Physical in this episode just to get everybody upset.
It's about ONG or ONJ. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
her.
Ong
Huh.
Bak. It's about Ong Bak.
Interesting.
True.
Well, I will host, and it'll be a fairly quick episode because I have a movie to catch later.
This
so-
is Slashers.
Oh, first of all, how the hell are you going to schedule this shit? And then you're like with your nails. Oh, I have a movie to attend to.
I do.
tonight.
It's
What
not
movie is
even.
it?
I'm gonna go see Demetrius on a boat, whatever it's called.
Oh,
What? I don't even know what this is.
Why?
The Dracula one.
the Demeter. Okay, I got you. The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
What do you mean? Why? Because this is Slashers motherfucking podcast, your favorite podcast, your favorite horror shit.
Mm.
Why would I not see The Last Voyage of Demetrius?
That's a horror movie one, and like, who still goes to the movies?
It still
Even-
goes to the movies?
Do you even know what it's about?
No,
Oh
I
my
don't go to
God.
the movies anymore.
Sorry, AIDS talking out. Never mind. Okay, so
This is Slashers.
your favorite horror podcast is about your favorite horror media. It is me, obviously being co-hosted by Jason.
Sorry.
Mikey.
I couldn't
Here
resist.
with it's okay. Actually, it's your headband as a co-host.
Yeah. There we go. All the
with us-
video viewers.
With us today is Jason's headband and Jason, Aid,
Woo-woo.
and Lance. My friends and headbands, say hello to the mutant goons from beyond.
Speaking of headbands, the other day I was just wearing this around the house. And I didn't realize it, and Graham had a speech session, so his health person came over, and I was wearing this around the entire house the entire time she was here. And I realized I was like, oh my God, I'm wearing this right, and I just took it off. Like, I'm so sorry you had to see that.
Oh my goodness, what era are you from? I wear headbands at the gym all the time. Anybody who has long hair is not going to fault you for wearing a headband. If you're wearing it for I forgot what
It's
it's
not
called.
aesthetic. It's a
Functional purpose.
Appearance?
functional purpose.
There you
yeah.
go.
Functional
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
She
just
just
laughed it
just to
off.
look cool.
I was like, yeah, look, you see this guy? Look at this. I've got to be cool at all times. This
Yeah.
is the moneymaker right here.
It's hard to be
Damn.
so cool when you're so hot.
I wouldn't have my corporate office job or my second retail job without this. Okay.
Mhm.
Jason, I feel like you're a teacher now with your many positions.
Exactly. I can't, man. Hey, you know what? I'm going to vote for Trump now. I mean,
Oh, jeez.
May as well. May as well at this point. Fuck it. Well, hello, goons.
That
It
was a
it
really
is
long
I.
hi, Jason.
oh, see, I'm just taking over the place now.
I know
Sorry.
Jason and his headband needed a very long introduction. But
Yeah.
yes, I am here today on a school night, and it's late, and I hate all of you. So there's that. Yeah.
I tried to get it earlier, but somebody wasn't available. Hi, Lance. Say hi.
Well, hello there. How you guys doing?
Good.
Boom.
I feel like the episodes where Mikey hosts, the sass meter goes up like at least a good 15 to 20%.
Yeah,
It does.
So do the listens.
Oh, that's
Sure.
true.
Oh
baby.
shit! Ah, there it is.
Oh, you scamp.
Just
Little
kidding.
scallywag.
On
Oh
2
my
billion
goodness.
listens worldwide. I'm telling you.
More listens than McDonald's. Okay.
Sure. I don't indulge in such disgusting feasts and famine. Whatever. This is the last episode of our Dog Days of Summer. So I brought all my dogs to I meant it like, in the
How
streets.
dare you?
I meant it in the streets.
I love that. As soon as Mikey said it, everybody's like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yes.
I love that it was like Mikey was probably working. I was like, how am I going to host this? How can I? Oh, here's my opening joke for this episode today.
Honestly, just like Demetrius, I'm sailing on with it because I didn't prepare anything. So get ready.
Uh-oh.
And how does it feel to not have my notes you never use? Oh, boo.
Uh-oh.
I guess
I
it's the
enjoy
same
your
as all the
notes.
time.
Yes.
See, Jason enjoys my notes. Thank you, Jason.
Jason
Jason's
just
my-
doesn't want
my
to
only
ruffle your two
person.
feathers that you have. Um,
25% more
irregardless,
sass. All right.
irregardless.
Mm.
Today is the last episode of Dog Days of Summer, so we brought to you something that none of us have seen. 2020's Good Boy, an Into the Dark feature starring Judy Greer. This was the first time we all saw it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever hear about it or anything beforehand?
No.
No.
I think I'd probably seen like 3 of these episode movie things, whatever you want to call them, the Into the Dark episodes. And every time I watched them, I was like, huh, that's fine.
Really?
I started watching Puka Lives and I was having fun with that this afternoon, but I didn't have time to finish it.
Yes.
I watched other ones. So I know I watched a handful of other ones. I can't remember offhand right now. And they're all just kind of like, fine, this is fine. It feels like it's like not quite made for TV horror, but it's also quite not theatrical horror. That's how I feel about this, which I guess kind of the what they're going for, I feel like. But yeah, and this was fine.
Lance, have you seen any of the Into the Dark series?
No, actually, this is the first one, and it was kind of funny because it gave me like a kind of a vibe of like old school Twilight, but like not as like thriller-esque as normal like Twilight, old school
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Twilight Zone. Yeah.
You gotta finish because Twilight and Twilight Zone are very different.
Yeah. There's no crystal vampires anyway.
Yeah. It's like, well, there's
But yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
kind of
was-
gave me that vibe.
Yeah, I was seeing kind of like a Alfred Hitchcock's Presents or like
Yeah.
what Night Gallery. That was when I was thinking of when you're the one with
Oh,
the
yeah.
earwig. We're just like, oh gosh.
Have you
Oh.
seen any of the Into the Dark series, Aid?
No, I haven't. I put them all on my list, and I always say I'm going to see them.
Sorry,
But
my
again,
dog just
my
ripped ass. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's why I had to mute myself. Stella was barking at the neighbor again, so I had to get her.
Oh,
Thank
Speaking
Stella.
of dogs,
Mhm.
Speaking of dogs, yeah, the dog days of summer are not pleasant here at the Slashers Podcast household.
No.
So yeah, no, I've always put them on my list, but like I'm always so consumed with anything that we do on the show, and I just never have time for like anything new.
Yeah.
And I honestly wanted to see it, but I feel like why aren't more people talking about it? And I think this is a catch-22 with all of the content that we have. Like either A, like everybody's talking about it, or B, it's good, but it's obscure and just like falls into the ether of all the bullshit that everything else is just coming out. Like nobody can keep up with anything anymore. And so here we are
yeah,
talking about Judy Greer.
yeah.
I think so. I'm glad we talked about Into the Dark because I know Jason feels some sort of way about it, but I actually think most of the ones that I've seen have been really good. I think being grouped together and advertised as like a series is their downfall because to me it's like, well, I'm not going to watch it because I haven't seen the other ones, but like these are all standalone movies. They might have like a little nudge and a wink to like a previous one, like a little Easter egg, like this one does have one. But that's all. You don't have to watch any of them to see. You can watch a random one because they usually fall on some sort of holiday. Did this one?
No, see, that was the sales because at all it was there. The sales pitch is kind of like they all revolve around some sort of holiday or international holidays. I know there's one that's about International Women's Day. I think it was a popular one. But I was like, what is this like? Maybe like Mother's Day or Mental Health Awareness Month? I couldn't put my finger on what holiday.
It's like it's a theme thing.
Yeah, typically they have something to do with some holiday that's occurring. There's like an Easter one, there's a couple Christmas and Halloween ones.
So Taco Day is gonna get like a taco murder scene.
It literally
Hey, you know
could because they were releasing in the month that this holiday took place. So like the first one, of course, is Halloween, and so the ones that I've seen that I really enjoyed are The Body. The Body's the very first entry. It takes place on Halloween. And now when he closes the door, Olivia's like partying out in the living room apparently. Okay, so I've seen The Body, which takes place on Halloween. Flesh and Blood, which is, I believe, Thanksgiving. Puka, which is Christmas. And New Year, New You, which obviously is New Year's Eve. Puka is not good. Puka Lives is good. The second one is better than the original. Down, two people find themselves on an elevator, stuck in an elevator on Valentine's Day. And I'm
It's nice
just
little meet cute, you know.
Yeah, it's like rom-com horror style.
yeah. I really liked I'm Just Fucking With You. That one is so good because it's very
That-
much
Is that the one about pranks? Like they're like doing pranks on each other the entire time?
it's
Or
one
it gets-
person. Like one
yeah.
guy's kind of psycho, and like when he like starts to get to the edge, he's like, no, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. And so that one's really good. And it's funny because all of these have in common that they have really hot guys as the killers. So I'm like,
Ooh,
so already
They-
I'm wet.
This just went up that on age list a little bit.
I know. We all know I love terrible people.
You
Especially
guys,
if they're attractive.
sometime I think the reason I became a filmmaker is because I watched these movies with these really hot guys, and these girls are stuck with them in situations, and they're like, I'm like, bitch, go along with it. Maybe even have sex with him. Like, it's fine. But as soon as
Yes.
you find an out, then go.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you're like, no, not me. It's like, I'm a little scared, but I'm also a little horny. And, let's go ahead and
We
I always say this about that Gotham episode that my Mila Ventimiglia is on because he's like a BDSM guy, and she spends the night with him, and he wants her to stay the next day and have breakfast. She's like, no, I gotta go home, and he starts getting weird, and I'm like, well, he's still hot, so let him fuck you a little more in his little weird room with all his little things, and then when you can get out. Like, why are you gonna fight him now? Like, have a little more fun and then go home. Like, if you're gonna die anyway, whatever. It doesn't
we
matter.
all need our Billy Loomis, right? Isn't that-
Exactly. Exactly.
like, there's going to be a time where your psycho boyfriend takes you out in public, and that's when you're
Yeah.
like, psst, this guy kills people.
I'm
He
gonna
also
slip-
murders this vagina, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Like,
gonna slip you a cocktail napkin with a 911 on it.
yeah.
Don't
but
forget my
until-
drink when you give it back to me, please.
Yeah,
And
like-
that's about it. Yeah.
Like, there's no rush to get me out of this situation, but eventually
Like,
I'm
what?
going to have to get
Yeah.
out.
Why are people freaking out? What is the problem? I don't
So wait,
understand.
what is your two guys the red flag for that situation? Because obviously it takes a lot.
See, no, like
Call it a situation.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
is
the
that
thing
what-
is we're not snitches.
if Mikey or Aid were in Barbarian, they were probably like, nothing's wrong here. Nothing's wrong here at all.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Bill Skarsgård's at the door. Hello.
Aid's like, let me get the 911 on a napkin. She's
I
like,
mean, this is really creepy, but I mean, this is Skarsgård. He's really tall and dark. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
He's got those
Really?
pretty blue eyes.
Mhm.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll stay here. Listen, I'd rather stay with him than the streets of Detroit. So I would definitely would have went in the house.
I know. And then
Fine.
he's like, I'll take the couch. I was like, yeah, you'll take me on the couch. That's what I'm saying. So, like, it's
When
just,
he offered her wine, hello, I'm like, all right, I'm dead. Give
I
me
would
the
have been
wine.
like, by the way, if you put something in this, you don't have to. Like,
I'm a sure thing. I'm a
yeah,
sure
like,
thing.
I want to be there. Let's get that straight. And he's probably like, I didn't put anything in there. You're like, oh, okay.
we don't
well,
even
just in
need
case.
the wine. Like, we don't. Need
I literally want the person who's trying to like kidnap you go, this might be a red flag.
yeah.
Like the opposite red flag to that situation.
Like, listen, this
She's
is
like, you're
just not. This is not hard at all. This is actually really taking it out of the chase of it, which is the fun
"You've
part for
killed
me.
my
Like, I
whole
can't.
mood.
Like, listen, you need help. All right.
I saw this thing recently that was like why gays aren't in horror movies. And it's this guy running through the house, and there's a guy in a screen mask following him with a knife, and he's shirtless. And the gay guy's like, oh no, someone help me. And like as he's running, he's grabbing like the lube and like wine glasses. And like he runs into his room, and the scream guy just chases him. But yeah, it's funny. And it's accurate. With that said, there is no studly serial killer in this movie, but a cute little puppy that has a little bit of a murderous side. So
Mhm.
I actually saw the advertisement for Good Boy, and I've been wanting to see it because I like Judy Greer. I think she's funny. And I really like her because I feel like she also represents normal people.
Yeah.
Judy Greer, I'm
Yeah.
sorry if you're listening, but like she's not overly
No,
beautiful.
but she,
like,
yeah, I get what you're saying for sure. She's not like a, one of these super like tens kind of thing. She looks
Yeah.
like just a normal person.
I
yeah.
can only think about 13 going on 30 when I see her. Like,
I can
that's
only
all
think of
I-
Arrested Development.
Oh,
Up
yeah.
here, Michael. Up here, Michael.
But yeah, she's always the best friend. But of course, we all know and love her as Violet from Jawbreaker. And so, Darren Stein loves her,
Her
the
name is
director,
Fern.
writer, Fern or Violet. I call her Violet because, I'm Courtney, obviously. And
Yeah.
I killed Liz. I killed the team dream. So deal with it. And like, it is such a great film because they paint her into this whole light, and we do an entire episode on Jawbreaker, guys. If y'all would ever want to listen to it, so go back into time and you can hear our whole take with Darren Stein. But Judy Greer is amazing, and I actually read an interview with her, and I don't know if it was this film that she was talking about, but she had to do a sex scene. And she was like, "I don't know how to be sexy." I'm like, girl, just take your shirt off. Like, what else do you need to do? Like,
Get a push-up bra.
She's in Reboot. Have y'all watched that TV show on Hulu?
Which one?
The one based off of the old animation.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cartoon with Enzo.
No.
I love that
I remember.
show.
Yeah, I remember that show when I was a kid too.
Reboot.
But yeah, it's on Hulu. It's got her and Keegan Michael Key and Johnny Knoxville. It's pretty funny actually. It got canceled, but it's funny. Like she's like getting undressed and she's changing her clothes on her trailer. And like her top's off, and then like a couple people walk in there, and she can't get her shirt back on, and so she's like freaking out.
She says she doesn't know how to be sexy, and I'm like, girl, you just do it. There's no, somebody will like it. Someone out there will want it.
She's got the nice what do they call them in Hocus Pocus? Jabos.
Yabos.
Yeah, she's got nice yabos, which is it's cool that she plays Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter because they both are very average-looking women with nice yabos.
They're homely, but Jamie Lee Curtis back in the day did have a fabulous body.
Yeah, well, I don't think Judy Greer might. She doesn't really show it off.
True.
All I know is she's got the junk in the top, but so it's funny y'all mentioned what y'all kind of know her from. I know her from Archer, which is funny because it's the character she plays.
I love Archer.
Complete opposite of who she is.
Can you strangle me just a little bit harder? Just
I would love to see a live action of her doing that.
Yeah. But so for anybody that hasn't heard of it, basically Good Boy is an Into the Dark entry. And what I hate is if you look it up on IMDb, you have to look up Into the Dark and then look at the episode breakdown and then you'll find it. So it's really stupid. That's why I'm like, the Into the Dark, it needs to kind of take a back seat. Like, sure, Jason Blum presents an Into the Dark entry, but they should all stand alone as their own movies. But Judy Greer plays an aging woman who her biological clock is ticking. Her biological clock is ticking. Excuse me. She can't find a boyfriend. She wants kids, and she has severe anxiety. Guilty. So she decides to get an emotional support dog, and the dog seems to be killing people that kind of wrong her. So we need to find this dog and give him to Britney Spears because she's going through some struggles right now. Not sure if y'all heard the big news.
Yes, we heard the big news, but you know what? She's still twirling her ass around on TikTok, so she's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much a quick spoiler-free summary of Good Boy. There is a surprisingly amount of noticeable faces in this.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
really
of course,
good. Who's who of this one?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we have Judy Greer. Who has she done any other horror things besides Halloween and this?
Cursed.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Y'all talk about that movie all the time.
You know what? We have to do Cursed.
Jason's like, haha, bitches.
Yeah, I don't even like that movie that much, but it's funny. Like it's
Jason almost took off the headband for this, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
and threw it on the floor.
Y'all throw. I'm surprised this Dog Days of Summer. I figured it was would have been thrown out at some point because we did a little bit of werewolves too.
We did one werewolf movie and that was enough.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I have never had to back up a movie choice we've made so hard as I've had
Oh
to.
my God.
with
I
American-
haven't had, listen, all the white cis men coming out of the woodwork to attack me on my own page, telling me how much of a garbage movie American Werewolf in Paris is in. Let me just tell all of you with your fucking caps on and your beards. Oh, sorry, Lance.
How dare
Whoa.
you.
I feel
But
attacked.
they all have caps on and beards, and they all like are trying to be serious in their pictures. And like, it is not that serious. Like, why are you so sad that somebody likes this movie? Like,
You know
it
the
is
sad
not
part
talking
about
that
to
this?
serious.
To everybody out there, I didn't do that episode for this month. I think it's the only one I didn't do. So
Yeah.
don't come at me.
No, but you should have, because everyone, well, no, they have the facade, right? And it's
Yeah.
all these white guys like
Excuse
pissed
me?
off. Sorry,
Okay.
Jason.
Yeah, why do you think we have Jason here?
And Lance doesn't count. He's Puerto Rican, but he's the worst Puerto Rican you'll know.
Here goes.
Mm.
He
He's
really
passing.
is.
He's passing.
Terrible. He's passing. He was passing. How dare you?
Blue eyes get me everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's his end all be all.
No,
But
I
yeah.
remember I talked to Josh. He's like, I listened to the episode. And it's like, have you seen the movie? He's like, no, I never saw it. And you guys didn't really convince me other to watch it.
Not even for the boombox. Not even for Julie Bowen. Gun.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You know what?
You should-
Gun owes me. So I'm going to say,
Yes.
go ahead and watch the movie Gun. Write up your own little review and send it over to us. So yes, horror actress Judy Greer apparently. Steve Guttenberg, which isn't a lot of shit, but has he done horror?
Steve
Is he in
Guttenberg?
Cocoon's scary, right? Isn't Cocoon?
Yeah, Cocoon. Wasn't he? No,
Those
I
old
almost.
people
I
I mean,
doing
there's a lot of old
jazzercise.
people in it. So I'd
Yeah,
be
just
scared
doing
of that too.
jazzercise.
That is a horror movie as far as I'm concerned.
I almost wanted to say he was what's his face in Congo, but that's the guy from Nip Tuck, right? Or is that
It's been
somebody?
so long since I've seen Congo.
Congo?
Yeah, I thought he was in Congo.
Is it
so.
Bruce Campbell in Congo?
Bruce
He's the
Campbell is in
boyfriend.
Congo. He's the one that dies in the
He's the
beginning,
first one
right?
that dies.
Yeah, he's the first
Oh,
one that
that's
dies.
too bad. Okay,
That's
so
Tim Curry, by the way.
Yeah, we all look the same age, okay? All of us.
it doesn't matter. Anyways,
Um,
so
We also have Ellen Wong, who is from Silent Night.
Yeah,
That's when,
she's
that's
been
when
on
I
the show.
first. That's when I first. Yeah, she's been.
She's
on the show.
also she's also Knives Chow and Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, I haven't seen that
Oh, really?
that
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
She looks so much different.
yeah. That's what
Apparently,
Banks does to a person.
apparently, she's in The Void, which I feel like I have to watch again.
I haven't
how have
seen
you
it.
not seen The Void? Hold on.
I no, I have seen it. I just don't remember it.
Cut that out. There's a toilet flashing behind me.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I didn't
Mhm.
hear it either.
I didn't hear it either. We'll
Um,
cut this conversation about the toilet out.
we're leaving it all in. And she's in Space Buddies. But anyways, so definitely no Ellen Wong. I didn't like. I feel like she looks younger than she did in Silent Night. So, but she's also doing the whole influencer thing. And then this name was familiar, and I was like, why does she look familiar? Maria Conchita Alonso,
See,
Oh, yeah.
The Running
Miss
Man,
Cubana,
Predator 2,
Predator
Extreme
2,
Prejudice. She's done a
Lords of
lot.
Salem.
Vampiras, just to throw
Great
some
movie.
horror out there. Yeah, so she's done a lot, and I just love her.
She one
Yeah.
of the witches in Lords of Salem.
No,
Spoiler alert.
she's the wife of
The professor.
well, what's his name from X-Men? Senator Kelly. Senator Kelly's wife.
Oh,
Mm.
We don't know people's real
Salem.
names. We only know their actors' names.
Yeah,
from a movie from 20 years, more than
Yeah.
20 years ago.
The sad part, half the fucking people listening are like, "Oh shit, that guy."
That
Yeah.
guy, yes, because like I don't know who knows his real name. Anyways,
The only reason why
he's
she knows what it is because Hugh Jackman's in that movie.
duh, obviously. I just watched part 2 so I could just watch Hugh Jackman get half naked and scream the whole time. And then Dan came home and was like, "Why are you watching this?" I'm like, "Shut up. Just watch my movie."
This is my time. This is
my
Mama's time.
interesting.
Anyway. Oh, sorry. I know.
No, I'm trying to
Here's-
remember. I'm trying to remember his name. He's very famous.
Senator Kelly?
No, who's the guy that plays Cyclops?
James Marsden.
James Marsden.
Yeah. So if James Marsden and Wolverine, I can't remember his name, y'all just said it. We're in the
Hugh.
same room with each other.
How dare you?
Would you choose one, or would you take a trip to Paris? Or would you turn yourself into a
Is that
Chinese
an
finger
option?
trap?
If that's an option, then obviously door
I
number
mean,
2.
I know. Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
So we're going with the Chinese finger trap. Okay, I was just curious because I really love James Marsden.
Just got nominated for an Emmy.
He did, and that show is amazing, by the way.
Oh, was
Pretty
it
funny.
for
It's just like
The jury.
yeah.
The
the
jury?
jury
Funny
duty?
show. That's a
love
great.
that
That's a
show.
great
It's
show.
just like, y'all
It's
remember
so
Joe
good.
Schmo show? Y'all remember that in like 2002?
Sounds
Because
familiar.
Joe
it's like,
Schmo?
yeah, it's like the exact same premise.
Sounds very cis white hetero of
It had Kristen Wiig on it before she was on SNL.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
You know what? Someone used to tell me I always looked like Kristen Wiig back in the day when Kristen Wiig was famous. And I used to get, I wasn't sure how to feel about that. Because I'm like, well, she's famous, but do I really look like Kristen Wiig? I don't know.
I don't know how to feel hearing that.
I
think
don't,
I
yeah.
look
What do
like
you
her
say
at
to that?
all.
What do you say to that? I don't
I
know.
love backhanded compliments.
So back to the movie. All right.
Anyways,
So
sorry,
she's got
That's
it.
a
She's
good point.
Sorry,
Good point.
Jason has his whip out, everybody behave. The biggest face that I was excited to see, not the biggest face, but the person I was most excited for
the 5 head. I gotcha.
was
Four-headed bound. Let's go.
the doctor who, does anybody know who the doctors from? The fertility doctor?
No, she looked familiar.
She's Holly from Scream 2.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
that makes sense. Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she did look familiar.
Yeah, and I was like, I've never seen her in anything other than Scream 2, so I'm very happy to see her.
I mean,
Glad
she
she's
has
still
one of the
working.
most scariest moments in a movie, probably.
Yeah, and she looks the same, still looks amazing, just
She
different
looks
hair.
amazing. Yeah, honestly, she looks, and that's the thing. Her hair, hair always changes, whatever.
Yeah.
And early 2000s aged so many of us with those terrible haircuts. And let me just say,
I mean, Frosty Tips weren't a good idea.
No,
Mm-mm.
absolutely not. So, but I'm sorry. Yeah, that is honestly, it's probably up in the top 10 of scariest moments for climbing over.
The
Yeah, or
most
suspenseful, whatever you make with it.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
ass was so tight you could have made a diamond in there.
Yeah.
But
because everybody's like going, she's black. It's one of those weird scenes. She gonna die here.
It's the best friend,
Yeah.
She's
The white girl
black
tried to tell her to go.
yeah.
I'm surprised you made it this far.
Dang, Jason.
I'm just going through the horror movie tropes.
Well,
That's what-
remember, not that this is a Scream 2 podcast, but she was in one of the scripts, she was supposed to be one of the killers.
Yeah.
Oh.
True. Yeah.
Neither here nor there. We love you, listener of the show, Holly from Scream 2.
Yes.
So basically, Judy Greer is like, oh my God, I can't find a guy. And she wants kids. She goes, and so when she pulls out her phone and she's about to call someone, the contact number says, "Are you sure?" ? And I was like, I need to save a couple people as that on my phone. So I thought it was gonna be like an X or something.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
That's great.
I thought it was going to be like an X or something, but
That's what I thought. That's what I assumed. That's what I felt led to believe, because she would always, after a date, she would look at it and then the date would go wrong. It was like, oh, going to go back to the ex-boyfriend.
yeah. Which,
Was
by the
not, though.
way, she goes on a couple of terrible dates. The real estate agent, he was hot and breedable. I don't know why she didn't do it.
He was a douche.
Wait, the guy,
Who cares?
the one
I
that took the
mean-
moment to like start scrolling while she was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who goes back on the
Well-
app while she walks away.
Yeah.
But you know what? And this is so I'm just going to interject as a woman watching this film that Mikey said. First of all, Mikey subjected me to, so I'm very upset by this.
You're welcome.
Because I'm watching the beginning of this, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, oh my God, this is me. Because it's not even about like finding the one, right? She's more worried about her
Yes.
clock ticking. She's 38. I'm 35, everyone, in case you didn't know. Actually, I'm 20. I'm 22, sorry. And I just don't think men have an understanding, or none of you will ever, including you, Mikey, you will never understand like the just impending sense of this looming. Thank you, Lance. This impending sense of dread that befalls you as a woman because you know you only have so much time. And so in your 20s, you're fucking around, you're having a good time, which is probably what she did, but she was also working on her career. So, and we get snippets of that, especially when we find out her job later, because Steve Guttenberg is such a shithead. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. When we watch her, she's looking for a partner, but she's also looking for someone who's going to give her what she needs, because she knows that eventually she will not be able to have children. So are you sure? Yes, we're going to go ahead and freeze her eggs. She finally goes and does it. Yes, I'm a woman, I'm taking charge. But as a woman, I'm watching this, and I know this because my cousin worked in fertility, and I know all these things. It is very expensive to freeze your eggs.
Yep. The prices they talked about are correct because my friend did it.
Correct. Yeah. And so she said it was what? It was 10,000 for retrieval. It's 10,000 for retrieval, 500 a year to keep the eggs in the bank, right? Just to store them somewhere.
To pay their rent.
And God knows that they're your eggs. They're probably just throwing them all in the same spot. And then, and you don't know, like, do you follow your eggs into the bank? Like, you have no fucking idea. Like, yeah. That's what scares me the most, is that people are just willy-nilly flicking eggs everywhere. And then another 5,000 to unfreeze them. And you're laughing at me, but you have no idea.
You just made that sound like an egg hunt. It's like an egg hunt, like here.
Yeah, and not only that, all of these eggs are not even viable, so not all of them will work. And even after you do all of this, it doesn't matter, because it may not work at all. And not only that, but like the hormones and all of the things that she was going through and injecting herself with fertility, that is real. That is true. She's not, a drug addict. These are not track marks. Like, she has to stick herself with this stuff. And then what happens is when they do this, because I tried to sell my eggs, and then they told me that I had Fragile X syndrome, so that's another thing, so I couldn't sell them. But before that, they gave me this whole spiel of what I had to do in order to sell them, or not sell them. I'm sorry, donate. Excuse me.
And then she's sounding like you're about to put on Craigslist.
Yeah, so I was donating my eggs.
A just called herself out. I was selling that shit on the block.
Hell, you know what? Whoever the fuck wants to buy them at this point, come on over. Like,
going over to the Blockbuster real quick. I got my trunk open.
They ain't going anywhere. So what the hell? And so I was like, all right, so they stick you, and not only that, all the fertility treatments, what it does is it like enlarges your the sac that your eggs are in, which is your, not fallopian tube, but the ovary itself. They enlarge so that more eggs are expelled, and so that they can extract more. So what they told me when this happens is you can't exercise or move a lot, because then your tubes can just roll up together and you could fucking die. So that's fun. And basically, no, but that's true. So that they're trying to
get stuck on their way down, and then you get sepsis.
Yeah. So a little, science lesson for all of you. Like, women are only, women
I know. I was like, I'm learning so much.
Because this is the problem with this episode. This is very like a woman-centric episode. So if a lot of men watching this are like, oh, fuck it, like, who cares? Like, what you don't understand is that we are born with all of the eggs we'll ever have. And those are the only eggs that we have. We are not men. We can't shoot them out until we die. Okay. They're there.
Robert De Niro's still having kids.
Exactly. Exactly. So, for me watching this, that's why I was so mad. I was getting angrier and angrier every second. And I'm like, why is making me watch this movie? Because, I'm getting to the age where, oh my God, what am I going to do? Right. And it's like,
good job, Mikey, traumatizing Aid.
But this whole thing is an allegory. She gets a dog to sort of represent, or the comfort that she needs, that she wants with a child.
Stella, check.
daggers coming from
I
these
know.
eyes.
It's like
right?
if you all could see the face she just made of me, it just I'm already been bleeding out right now.
Good. I hope that happens. Anyways, so the whole thing is basically an allegory. So she finally gets the child that she wants, and she's not giving it up, right? And this is what people do with their own children. They just sort of make excuses for them. They can do no wrong. And it doesn't matter what instant they put them in, they're still your child, and I'm going to just defend you. And that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
And cover
So
up.
this
When they're at the hot yoga class, whatever, it's like there's something wrong with my dog. You're the one that's yours is the one that's barking.
Yeah,
I know.
But that's how people behave with their children.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
And, you know, I just thought it was so interesting to put that with a dog, because with a dog, all of us are endeared to it, right? Even when he is at his worst, we're like, oh, but you can't just leave him outside. No, my God.
You
Like,
just flown 8
him.
knives child, and she's still making excuses.
I think it is kind of like, I think one of the reasons that also like it kind of toys with you is because I think everybody kind of wishes that they had that protector when someone kind of fucks with you that would like take care of it. And
oh yeah, 100%.
yeah, so it's not so much revenge as it is just like, I guess karma, you could say, because she really didn't do anything to any of these people that, you know, wronged her, except for the poor Ellen Wong. But
she did try to save her, so there was
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And she got out the
Tried.
worst. I feel like she
Yeah.
got out the worst. Well, we guess B looked pretty bad when you saw
It
her.
it drove me nuts because pretty much every murder, she did not have to actually touch any of these fucking people. Like she made it so much worse by fucking trying to hide it. I was like, just leave them there. They're like dog marks. No one's gonna assume that you were there or gave a shit. No one's gonna look at your dog and go,
yeah, your
"Must have been
20-pound
that
dog.
fucking-"
It
Yeah.
was pretty funny though when she walked in after I think she killed B. He was like, "Oh, somebody likes raspberries." I'm like, "What are you talking about?
Oh,
That
I
is
know.
not raspberry."
So she does get this
Yeah.
dog from the shelter, and it is a very unique looking dog. I will say, I love that it wasn't just like a regular, like, sorry if anybody has a lab, but like a, you know, just a regular
Like a-
like yellow lab.
Yeah.
Well, labs are popular, and that's the thing. So you have like popular dogs. The French Bulldog is the most popular right now.
It would have been funnier if it was
Obviously.
the Labradoodle.
A labradoodle.
But this kind of dog is very scrappy, right?
He's so cute.
He is cute. He is cute. And honestly, I could, and you know what? There were things that she was doing. So, and I, you know, Claire, I love you. But Claire does the same thing with her fucking Yorkie. I'm sorry, with Milo. She totes Milo around everywhere and to the ends of the earth and back. So I feel like this is Claire's movie. So I'm gonna send it to her after we watch this and be like, "This will be you if you don't cut the cord with Milo." Because
Wow.
This is what your life will turn into.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
It gets so quiet. We're all like,
We got
"I didn't
quiet.
go from
We're
there."
like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god, do we
yeah.
still do?" Like, we're very sorry, Claire. So sorry.
Yeah, Claire. Totally.
Yeah. Can someone
At
do a
least you two
welfare
don't have to
check?
see her later on. I'll have to
Yeah.
look at her at one point and be like, let's go. Hi, Claire.
Yeah.
Where's your dog at? I guess.
Yeah. Surprised you
Great.
could step away from your puppy.
Crazy dog lady. But actually it's funny because they mentioned when she gets him from the pound, he's like, yeah, the poor thing was like in a what did he say, a criminal's house. So he saw a lot of crime happen, and that's why he's here, because I guess and that's kind of what happens. You realize, oh, the dog actually may have been the one
It's like
causing
what
all the
happened.
crimes.
It's like they dug up this dog next to the body of Jane Doe from the autopsy of Jane Doe. They got her in that
Yeah.
criminal house in the basement.
Yeah.
That's what I was. This also movie is like, it feels like a remake of Man's Best Friend. You know, like the main character's a journalist. She gets this dog out of nowhere who may be genetically modified at some point.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
like part robot or something, isn't he?
yeah. And that one, he's part. No, he's not even part robot. He's got like, he's got panther blood in him. He can like do it. He's just a crazy dog.
Oh my.
He
Yeah.
only works 80% of the time. 8%
Yeah,
of the
he eats
time.
cats.
I was gonna say the only thing I remember about that movie is when he climbs the tree and eats the cat, and I was like,
yeah, exactly.
I was
Yeah.
like 7 years old, like what the
that.
fuck?
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. My
Yeah.
poor kitty.
So good news for everybody listening: no animals die in this movie.
What did you say
No.
about Milo and Otis?
Well, that's where Claire got Milo from.
Yeah. Tell her how many dogs and cats died making that movie.
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
I've heard about that.
I'm not saying no, I wouldn't do that to her.
Yeah. But
Ruin your childhood
I
real
mean,
quick.
Milo goes to Canada, so he's international now. So there you go.
Oh,
he
they have
has
to get a passport too, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yes.
Do you have to get a
Really?
dog passport for
Yeah, you
dogs?
do. It's a big thing for
What?
animals. Yeah, it's a big deal for animals because they can carry like diseases and stuff in other countries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I
he
know it's
flies to
only
Canada.
Canada, so it's not like it's India or something.
Like
But
we don't care about Canada. Like what is?
Well, there's like, I feel like the border between America and Canada is very invisible. It's not like Mexico where they're like, excuse me.
and like most of Canada's population is below Detroit anyway, so like nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious to me because people are all these ignorant idiots. They're always talking about Mexico, and they have no idea that like so many people come into Canada with fraudulent passports, and that's how they get through the border. We're not going to go after Canada. Let's go after Mexico because everybody's brown. Yay,
Mhm.
yay.
Side note,
sorry.
when I was young,
Side
my
note.
grandparents smuggled a parrot in from Mexico that they got, and apparently you can get in big trouble for that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
We got to
Oh,
worry
no.
about those Canadian drug cartels though.
yeah, my grandparents, yeah, we smuggle parrots from Mexico, and you get a death sentence, smuggle drugs in from Canada. It's fine.
It's just like, hey, got a couple kilos of cocaine, eh?
Yeah,
Eh?
I mean, as long as it's not a ferret, California has a thing about ferrets.
they do. Speaking of
Mm.
things that aren't ferrets, so Judy Greer decides to name her dog Reuben because he ate her Reuben. And I was like, speaking of
ridiculous.
Mexico, I feel very offended.
First of all, who the fuck is making a Reuben for themselves? Nobody makes a Reuben at home. Who's
I saw no
doing that?
sauerkraut on that thing.
Somebody has a lot of time on their hands, like
And-
like this character has.
And she
Yeah.
was very proud of this Reuben. And I said, Judy, this is why we're single. Why are we making Reubens at home?
Well,
You need a glass of wine and a wedge of cheese and go to bed. That's it. And a
It's all-
pack of cigarettes.
it's all
You're
about
done.
pimento cheese spread.
Dude, it's gonna be on Chick-fil-A sandwich now.
I'm
That's
so
crazy.
excited.
I can't
I'm
wait to eat
so
it.
excited.
I know.
Hold the
I
honey
heard.
drizzle, but I will have the Chick-fil-A pimento cheese
Put
sandwich.
that honey
Jason,
drizzle all down
I-
my back.
I saw that comment
There
that
it
Jason
is.
made, and I said absolutely not to myself, but I didn't want to hurt your feelings. And there's
What,
that.
you don't like the pimento cheese,
Absolutely not now.
or is he
Ew.
got something against Chick-fil-A?
Go back to New York. However, y'all
called
are
you a
making me
Yankee.
hungry.
I know I'm hungry too. It's fine.
Mikey's like, I got dinner coming soon. Let's fucking go.
I've actually got to go to dinner soon. That's what Mikey's saying.
Yeah. Bye. No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Bye.
Um,
And I'm out.
no.
Slasherspod.redbubble.com.
Oh my god, could you imagine if that's just how we ended the episode?
This is Slashers.
That was the end of Dog Days of Summer. I wish. But no, so the people in Judy's life that are, and that's not even her name, her character name is
I didn't even. She's just Judy Greer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
The one time we
I
actually say the
never heard
actress's
of it.
name and not their character.
Maggie.
Maggie. Yeah.
Oh no, let's go back to Judy.
Yeah.
I'm calling her Maggie.
Maggie sounds too much like but so
30% more sass.
which
Okay,
is what
we're-
we don't say on this podcast.
No.
You can say it. I can't.
Yeah, unless you're Mikey, no one else is saying
I was
it.
about to say. That's
Unless
Mikey's
you're
word.
me or you're having sex with me, you can't say it.
Oh, okay. Well,
but- Well, Judy Greer is being wronged by people such as Steve Guttenberg, also known as Don.
course. Of course he is.
And people
like
just
those old
start
people in the pool.
dying. Were there old people in the pool?
And Cocoon. This is
Oh
Cocoon
my
joke.
god,
I already
Jason,
went on back to Cocoon.
you can't make comments like that because the pool is central to the story in Good Boys.
I forgot about it. It got dirty.
It was real dirty, and then the
Yeah.
little
Uh-oh.
Mexican chick had to clean it. But
It's so off topic now. I love it.
okay, bringing it all back in.
You got 2
What-
minutes left.
Oh, it's fine. So people are fucking her over, and then they end up dead. the guy she goes on a date with, who's like, I don't play games, and she's like, oh, good. And then he starts trying to hook up with her, and she's like, I thought you didn't play games. She's like, I don't. We're getting
I even
straight to the
smoke.
point.
Yeah, he's like, I smoke. It's in my
Yeah.
profile. Don't even. It's like, shut up about it. It's in my profile.
Yeah, because he kept saying like, didn't you read my profile? Because she kept like being like, wait, you don't own this house. And so she's in the bathroom pretending to fix her makeup, but we all know she's just taking a huge dump in there.
Oh, and there are all those condoms in the trash can.
Oh yeah, and there's condoms in the trash can. So while she's in there, Ruben or the dog is attacking the hot yet apparently not a good person guy. And so she walks out, and I think a car hits him, but then like speeds off. And they're like, "Oh no, he got hit by a car." It's like, yeah.
And then Ruben's like, "I didn't do this. I like raspberries. That's what this is. This is all just raspberries."
And I like how she takes the dog to the vet the next day to make sure he's okay. And she's like, "Yeah, I think the blood on him was basically just him being in the splash zone." And she's like, "Oh, okay, good." And I was like, "Yeah, someone just died."
Someone's been watching Dexter.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the manager, no, I guess he's her manager.
The editor. You talking about her boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the editor in chief.
The editor
of the Valley.
Well, that's not the next one that died, isn't it? The landlord that dies next.
Oh
yeah, it is landlord.
Maria Conchita.
Yeah.
Which this is annoying too, because she's like, "This is my emotional support dog." She's like, "I don't care. You need to get rid of it." She's like, "No, it like supersedes the law because he's a certified." And she's like, "No, I don't care." And I was like, actually, Judy Greer is kind of right.
I was going to be like, I am a sovereign citizen, okay?
Okay, you know what? But there has been an incident in our school where some girl ran out of her classroom crying to her mother, a grown-ass woman. "You need to bring my dog to the school or I can't take it."
Yeah. That's what the emotional support dog is for.
If somebody would have told like one of my teachers back in high school in like 2004, like, I need my emotional support labradoodle, they would have been like kicked out of class.
You are a teacher. Suck it up, Buttercup. It ain't gonna
the
get
teacher
any better.
did that?
The teacher
did that. Yes.
Oh, I thought it was a
she
student.
left, and she left the kids alone.
I literally
in the
know
room.
all of us thought it was a student.
The kids were left alone.
I assumed it was a 16-year-old kid.
Oh man.
No, it was the teacher. And I
That's
go, let me
amazing.
tell this bitch over here running around 22 years old acting like she's 45 and can't stand. Get the fuck out of here.
That teenager.
You know what? You take your fucking emotional support and you go cry at home because you know what? No. You cannot do this job. Bye.
That teenage queen bee found her weakness real quick. Like,
I know, right?
She's the most self-conscious about and was like,
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, actually, so cute side story. So Adam is an instructor for color guard, and one of his students has an emotional support dog, and so she I think she gets seizures, and so this support dog can tell whenever it's going to happen.
When it's going to happen, yeah. A lot of people have that for that. But see, that's not an emotional support dog. That's a
service dog.
That's a legitimate dog. Yes.
Yeah, this is one that literally.
That's a oh fuck you're gonna die dog.
Well,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
These are the dogs that like go through like $50,000 worth of training, and so because it's like a dance class, she was showing Adam what the dog could do. So like when they're dancing and their heart rate goes up, the dog starts acting weird because it can tell whenever you have anxiety, and whenever your heart rate goes up, he comes up to you and he puts his head on your lap and like makes you pet him. And it was just like the cutest thing. And Adam was like stressing out about something, and the dog comes up to him and just like sits next to him. I was like, I want that. That's so cute. But like this dog did a bunch of really like interesting stuff to like calm you down. So
for the small price of a Subaru Impreza, this dog can be yours.
Well, I think when you have conditions like that, I think there's like grants and stuff that will pay.
Sure, yeah.
But I know that it's very expensive for those dogs to go through all that training.
Well, you've seen My Sister's Keeper, right? So that's the whole. Okay, so in the book, I never saw the movie, but in the book, the attorney, he always has the dog, and he's an asshole about it because people are like, "Why do you have this dog?" Well, he's my service dog. Well, what's wrong with you? And he won't tell them.
Yeah.
And then he has like a seizure in court. And then we realized, oh, this is why he has the dog. in front of the whole world.
I
But
love as you
anyways.
acted out that seizure, like
I know.
like one of those
I
big
was
things coming
seizures
out.
like
The inflatable
Yeah,
man.
the inflatable man in front of car dealerships.
The wacky wavy.
What an insensitive episode we have today.
Yeah,
You
we're
know
getting
what?
canceled for
Whatever.
sure.
We're
Yeah,
gonna cancel.
God forbid
I
you
know.
have seizures. because-
I know.
I know.
Well, you know what? Lance is in the vicinity. We're definitely getting canceled. So here we
Oh
go.
God.
I
Well,
know.
Well, anyway.
They don't listen.
Yeah, we have thought. I mean, whatever. Anyways,
People have taste.
Yeah.
The cool thing
Yeah.
about this, though, is that the dog is just not a killer dog. There's something inside of the dog. It kind of reminds me of Uninvited, where there's like an evil cat and a regular cat.
I remember that one. Yeah,
Uh,
that's quite the movie.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fun. I know there was a lot of emotional trauma for some of the co-hosts involved, but my only thing is, I wish
He's taking
that
strays over there.
I know. I didn't say which one.
I know,
Um,
Lance. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. A lot of trauma. A lot of trauma. I swear to God. That's woo.
I just wish that the dog and Judy Greer just like were able
Drove
to
off.
live their life at the end.
Yeah. That was a shitty ending.
Yeah.
There's like
Because
4 epilogues.
The best ending was when the blood splattered on her face and she was,
Yeah.
smiling.
Yeah.
End the movie there.
You didn't want the moment where she was literally like milking the puppy.
Yeah. No. She was.
Yeah.
Because
She was milking
and then I was
her.
watching
The
that and
other
I go,
way.
this just turned into a Doug movie. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
I totally forgot about her breastfeeding the dog.
She
Yeah.
was, with her
It was like-
tit
I was like,
out.
It's all black and white all of a sudden.
That
I'm like,
wasn't even
it was
her
based-
tit because she
yeah.
has freckly boobs. So that was
And it
that
was-
was a fake tit.
Yeah.
And it was essentially like really driving home. Oh, and just in case you didn't realize this was supposed to be like her kid for the entire movie. I'm
Yeah.
just really drive the point home right at this point.
I just wait. If this was an A24 movie,
Yeah.
would have had that image of the dog drinking milk from her breast, and she turns into like the Mother Mary statue with the lights
Sure.
behind her, and we
oh.
have like this orchestral music just rise, and then it
The dog
ends.
would have said "mama" like really quietly,
Yeah.
but it would have been like, yeah.
Yeah. See, get in touch with us. Whoever made this movie, we'll redo it.
And then more this Blumhouse bullshit.
We'll
Just
get
keep on
an
A24.
A24 special.
Yeah.
Blumhouse is going to drop out from Into the Dark. It's going to be A24's Into the Dark. Really emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be called Out of the Dark.
I'd be happier with A24, although Blumhouse follows us. We love you, Blumhouse. Yay.
Yay.
Into the
Jason,
Darker.
You're hot, Jason. But anyways,
Yeah, look at the right here. Just give Blumhouse right across
Jason-
all the
the-
band.
Jason Blum, not
We have
Slasher's
Oh.
Jason.
We have our own Jason Hill right here, ladies and gentlemen. So
Yeah.
this is
I mean, Jason, you're hot too. But yeah,
well with the headband. Hello.
yeah, only with the headband. Do not take it
Yeah.
off ever again.
Physical.
But final
Yeah,
thoughts on the movie. I liked it. I wanted to say 3.5 out of 5 stars. We'll go in alphabetical order. Aid, how do you rate this movie?
Well, the movie bothers me obviously, and obviously we know why.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to all of the penises in the room. But for the ovaries here, this is why
Yeah,
I was
boys.
annoyed. I was just
Yeah.
know,
No triggers over here.
and it's sad because like it kind of like reflects the this is what made me mad because it makes it seem like women are obsessive over having children because she would do anything to have this type of protection, including sacrificing the man who loves her. So she finally finds somebody who actually wants her, and then she just throws him, quote, to the dogs. So
Literally and
and
figuratively.
exactly. Yes. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for mansplaining.
Thank
I know.
you
I'm
for
so sorry.
your, thank you for your explanation.
Well, I will take all notes later on.
So, but yeah, I like it. I take a lot more from it, and I know that there is a lot of underlying themes in this film. I love that we have these little Easter eggs. I love that we have our Scream 2 queen in here,
Mhm.
right? So it is actually probably a more like standout episode. I would say that if I'd seen them all, but I haven't, so I can't. But anyways, yay.
This is my favorite episode she's seen so far.
Yeah,
favorite only episode
I
ever.
love this one. I love Judy Greer, and I think that she's amazing. And I honestly think this was a perfect role for her. And it's also very depressing as a woman watching this because I am getting up there. So if you're in your 20s, you don't care. Wait till your late 30s and you watch this and you have a good cry and several glasses of wine and then pass out and pretend that it doesn't matter. Yay.
This
Jason?
movie is why people get their MRS degrees in college.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, it's for the folks. They the joke is the MRS for degrees so they can find their husband, and they go to college just so they can find their husband.
No, I thought you were talking
No.
about MRSA.
MRSA, yes,
yeah.
MRSA. That's
Say MRSA, getting married, having a husband, same difference.
All
Bye.
diseases.
Yeah.
you get a vaccine for like one of those things.
Well,
At least.
Jason, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I gave it like a 2.5. I feel like
Wow.
it felt stretched. Yeah, it felt stretched. I feel like it would have been better like hour-long episode. I feel like there's kind of a lot of things going on, and admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of these kind of like movies where
Women centered, yeah.
yeah, exactly. I really hate that. But no, the movies where somebody keeps killing somebody like comedically, and they keep trying to bury it, but somebody's constantly on their tail. But then they keep killing people, and everything kind of looks like it's going to go up, up, up. Good for them. I kind of get tired of those movies. So I get the allegory of it. It just seemed like it's obviously it's a lot better than like these Full Moon or like Asylum movies, but it felt stretched like some of those movies can.
Yeah.
And that was my gripe with it. And I'm trying to think of the other Into the Darkness movies, TV shows, whatever you want to call them. Specials, maybe that would be a more apt term for this. I gave it a 2.5. It's fine,
It's fun.
It's fine. It's fun. I like
Lance?
Man's Best Friend better.
Oh my goodness. I actually looked and it wasn't streaming anywhere, which is why we didn't do that one.
I think it's on YouTube. I'll send it to you later.
Perfect. Now, Lance, give us your thoughts and prayers on Good Boy.
Yeah, no, it was fun. And I mean, there's definitely spots that like I feel like it could have gone one direction or a different direction kind of deal, where it was like either be super campy or be super like depressingly kind of where it's like, oh my god, this is sad for every woman in the world. Like it's like, oh man, like when the fact that she seems so desperate, like the first date she has, she pretty much is like, how do you feel about children? He's like, what the fuck? Like we just hung out, like this is our first date, like what the fuck? And you're like, man, that seems super desperate on her end. Like he was like, what are you on this app just to get a fucking dude to get pregnant? Like no dude's gonna be into that ever. Like not like the first. So it kind of seemed like it was either that or it was either like, oh, this dog's just murdering people left and right, and then why are you keep cleaning up this dog's mess every time he does something, which goes along with the whole children factor of like doing whatever you would do for your kids. So like it felt like it was kind of all over and didn't really pick a main direction at any point really. So it kind of kept me kind of going, oh okay. And at the end I was kind of hoping the same dude who was the kennel guy was like part of some conspiracy of because the dog ended up literally at the back of the same place. You're telling me this is the only dog place in this whole town? Like this
I
dog
would like to know, like, why is this dog what happened to this dog? There's some kind of like what happened. Like, come on.
That's what I was hoping it was to be like one of those things that goes like a secret like society where they were making these animals at this dog place, and then you'd get like a sequel where you find out that kid's really the main epicenter to something. That would be fun, but they didn't even tease that. It was just kind of like, oh, next person up for the fucking suicide dog.
I think
did you guys watch that Erie, Indiana episode where they had the dogs? Y'all remember that episode? Yeah, that's what it's been like. All of them trying to take over the world.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that. But anyways, so I think
okay, but I don't mean to interrupt you, Mikey, but
you're going to go ahead.
Of course I am. Of course I am. But it is interesting to listen to all of the male perspective of this film because all of you are inherently wrong. And it's fine.
I haven't given my thoughts about it.
Mikey, with your vagina, continue. Thank you.
I was just gonna say, I think that's what makes the movie end on such a bummer is that she can't win. And
Yeah.
I think I would have liked for them to explore more of the relationship between Judy Greer and Ellen Wong, because Ellen Wong they know each other because Judy Greer was her babysitter. And so I thought that was going to make like almost like a maternal instinct for Judy Greer, where there was going to be like a struggle, like who does she side with, the dog that she's treating as her
right.
child, or the
Yeah.
child that she took care of when she was younger. It didn't really play on that as much as I would like to, but also Ellen Wong even says like, she doesn't want to have kids. And there's even that moment where she's like, I know that you don't have to have kids in life. And she says something like, I know you know that, or something like that. And so I was like, we
Sick
need,
burn.
yeah, but like we need, like that conversation needs to be had
Yeah.
almost in more detail in this movie, if that's what the movie's trying to put a message about.
Yeah.
But it does.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that is the underlying theme.
Yeah.
But to punish Judy Greer in the end, and then make a man adopt the dog at the end.
Yeah.
It's kind of a slap in the face. But so again, this film doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was the biggest bummer I was loving all of it, but it's like she was never able to win, and she still didn't win because she goes to jail.
And it's
You're
the
right. Knocked it down to a
it's
two
the shitty
stars.
boyfriend who gets his head clonked off, and the Corbels in Halloween 2
Oh yeah.
at the end. But he's also in an episode of Walking Dead, I think, or some shit, or he's in something else. Anyways, he sucks. Bye.
Yeah.
You know what? Go ahead, take the dog, and I hope the dog eats off your man bun. I don't care.
I mean, he probably will.
Probably.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah. So okay, well there you go. Obviously some very different opinions on this movie. So give it a watch, listeners, and let us know what you think. Or berate us with comments about how this is the worst movie you've ever seen and we shouldn't have covered it like last time.
Oh my God. Like, who the fuck has time to troll a podcast you don't even listen to? I've never had so much hate on one movie. Like, who is hitting the hashtags for American Werewolf in Paris? I mean, like, you fucking suck. Thank you for the publicity, sir. I appreciate you.
Again, I wasn't on that episode.
Yes, Lance. This is all
Thank
your
you,
fault.
yes.
Well, speaking of other things that are Lance's fault, we're wrapping up on the hour. So if you would like to support us monetarily, you can find us on Patreon, where we release Patreon exclusive episodes. Patreon.com/slasherspod. If you want to buy merchandise from coffee cans to dental dams, you can find us on Redbubble at slasherspod.redbubble.com. Instagram, you can find me at Horror and a Half Shell, Aid at Pathologically Aid, Jason at Jason Hills 64.
I think it's 63. Whatever.
63.
I'm not super
69,
active on it, but it's
No one knows.
Yeah. And then Lance at
Wait, Jason's headband at
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I was just making
Jason's
a separate
headband
Instagram.
at xtube.com/ or Lance at Zombie versus Hate. You can also find us on Facebook at the group Mutant Goons from Beyond, and Instagram with the name Mutant Goons from Beyond. I think that's it. So this is the last episode of Dog Days of Summer. I hope you had a howling good time. With that said, we'll be back next month with a very surprise theme, because I forgot what it is. And until then, goodbye and good time.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I am heading out. Gotta go, guys.
Sorry, bro. No, stop.